Creating an account in ActiveNet. All customers doing business with Denver Parks and Recreation need to have an account in ActiveNet. If a customer wants to purchase a membership, sign up for swim lessons, pay for a drop-in visit, rent a facility, etc., they first need to have an account established in ActiveNet. There are two ways an account can be created. Customers can create an account online by visiting our online service center, or staff can create an account for a customer through the staff site in ActiveNet. I will demonstrate the steps to create a customer account through the staff site. From the front desk screen, click on Customers. Next, it is important to determine whether or not the customer already has an account or not in the system by typing in their first and last name. This process will help us avoid creating duplicate accounts. If a customer already has an account established in ActiveNet, their name will appear after selecting the search button. This is an example of searching for a customer who already has an account. If their name appears, then they already have an account established in the system. If the name of the customer you typed in does not appear on the list of search results, then you must click on Add New to begin the process of creating a new account. After clicking on Add New, you'll be directed to the Add New Customer page. From here you will see several fields that must be completed. All fields with an asterisk must be filled out. If they are not, the system will prompt you to complete these fields and will not let you proceed to the next screen until you do so. The required fields for a customer account are first and last name, street address, city, state, and zip, primary phone number, gender, customer type, and date of birth. The goal is to complete all fields listed so we can gather as much information about the customer in ActiveNet as possible. I will complete a test account so you can view the process on the screen. After typing in the customer's street address, it is important that we verify whether or not the address is a resident or non-resident address. Even though we have eliminated non-resident fees for the time being, it is critical that we track residency in ActiveNet. By clicking on the binoculars, you can verify if an address is within the city of Denver boundaries. If it is a resident street, it will populate after clicking on the binoculars. If the street address does populate, it is important to click on one of the links in order to validate residency. After verifying the street address, you must re-enter the zip code. If it is not a resident street, the street listed will not populate. The text message alerts phone field is available if customers would like to receive text messages from ActiveNet about cancellations, reschedules, etc. If the customer agrees to receive text messages, then you must enter in their cell phone carrier, and check the box, Agree to receive text messages. If any of these fields are left blank, customers will not receive text messages. If the customer would rather not receive these messages at all, then the field does not need to be completed. You will see that the email address is not a required field. However, this is a very important piece of information that we want to collect for each customer. The customer's email address is important because it is the customer's default login when signing into our online service center. Without an email address, customers cannot transact online. ActiveNet also has the capability to send mass communications to everyone with an email in the system. The customer type defaults to general public. This should be left as is and not be changed. If the resident box is not checked and the address above is a resident address, it is important that we check that box. The next field listed is the emergency contact information. Although not required, it is strongly recommended to list at least one emergency contact person. It is best if the person listed is someone outside of the customer's immediate household. This information will only be used if we cannot reach the primary household contact that is listed on file already. After completing the emergency contact information, scroll down to the security information. You will see that the email listed from above has defaulted in the login name field. Again, this is because the email is set to be the login name for the customer's online account. Please do not fill in a password for the customer in this area. Rather, instruct the customer to log into the online service center and click on Forgot Password. An email will then be generated with a temporary password for the customer to log in. Once you have completed all of the above fields, please select an answer from the drop-down box next to the "How did you hear about us?" question. This answer helps our marketing team gather data on the best way to communicate with the public. At this point, if you are only completing an account for an individual, click on Save. The account for that customer is then completed. If there are other members of the family that need to be created, click on Save and add a new family member. From this point, most of the information you completed on the previous screen will default for the second account you are creating. Repeat the same steps in completing the second account. If there are more family members to enter, continue to repeat these steps until all family members are created.